And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second broadcast of the night. We just wrapped up with the KSL, with the Korean StarCraft League, and now we are back with something a little bit different, something special, with the Grand Platypus Open number 98. We're almost at 100. We're almost there. We are oh so close, and on the road to 100, we have our first best of 3. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, as the bracket today is a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter, but amazing games nonetheless will be had, and we are here to bring it to you live on the Ducklings. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the blue Terran player from the land of China representing Mystery Gaming. It is Oriana. Spawning in the top left, we have as opponent, we have the pink Zerg player from land of Hong Kong representing Team Gosu. It is Koht. Two regulars of our weekly tournaments are going to be facing off here back to back. I am ready for it, and oh boy, we'll see how this does turn out. Again, a hatch first from our Zerg player. Should be going for a rack expand as well. Oriana has been on the rise. Again, leading into ESL Masters, we were hyping him up. I was excited for him, and he didn't do too badly. Didn't do too poorly at all in ESL Masters Asia. And now he is here continuing to compete, continuing to rock up here in these online weekly tournaments. Looking to have a deep run, looking to vie for that #1 spot, and I want to believe that he has it in him. I want to believe. Likewise, you have Koht, more of a newer face to the scene. He is, of course, well, he has been competing in our events for a couple of weeks now, but still a relatively newer face here to the Cranky Ducklings, and I'm ready for more. From at least what we've seen so far, Koht seems to be a little bit more on the aggressive side of things, seems to thrive a lot more in the mid-game, and we'll see if that continues to be the case. I want to say last GBO we casted Koht against Hon Mono. Hon Mono had a really strong time, had a really strong showing. But here against Oriana, we'll see. We'll see how they compare. Oh, he's under the sea. Ah. He's under the sea, Pop. You love to see him. It's just very fitting here on Oceanborn. I appreciate it. Bam! Wait, no. Bam! Wait, where's the... There it is. I was just looking for the other logo. As the Reapers are going to be moving out across the map, getting some scouting information. We had an SCV scout as well from Oriana, just to make sure that everything was on the up and up. Did confirm that it was a hatch first, so should be feeling pretty safe and sound overall as the Reaper is making its way towards the bases. Lings are in a position, and yeah, so far the Reaper going to be dancing with said Lings. Going to be looking to delay the expansion to try to get a drone kill if possible. Third base is on the way from Koht, and we do pick off one Ling so far, but only one. Ling has fallen behind this, Koht taking his third base. And Oriana is going for a more economic opener here. Behind this is going for a third CC before Starport. Very economic from Oriana. Very straight up, very macro oriented. Again, wanting to get into the mid game in a good position. Meanwhile, likewise, Koht hasn't really shown any signs of aggression either. Just been droning, just keeping up with the Reaper positioning, the Reaper movement of Oriana. Has just been keeping up. Creep, of course, is being spread. Queen's on the way behind this. Ooh, interesting. I was curious what kind of variation of 3CC it was going to be from Oriana, and I have my answer. It is going to be a 3CC 2-1-1. Let's go. We're going to be getting into an initial racks. Going to be working towards a stim timing with a double drop with Medivacs. Now, there's a bit of a give and take here. Now, this opener that Oriana is going for means that we don't really have too many Hellions to work with. We're going to be making, I believe, four Hellions. We have two more on the way, and then we go for an add-on swap. So we don't have that much really map control to work with. We don't have that much to really threaten Koht. So Koht, he's gonna be free to drone. He can defend with purely queens and a handful of Lings, and he should be fine against these Hellions. And again, he should be able to just drone freely from here and get into a good economic position. That will change eventually, as a Ling does slip in. That will change once we get active with our Medivacs, and there's that add-on swap. Again, only 4 Hellions here for the Terran player, as a Ling does get in, gets a full scout of the main base, does see all the production as well as the factory and the starport as well from Oriana. So Koht is fully aware of what's going on, which means he knows he can drone. Ooh, I say he knows he can drone. This is an early lair. Very early. This is what, 420. I see what I said there. 4:15-ish lair timing, sub 420 seconds, sub 4 minutes 20. So very early on here. I mean, I guess not as early as otherwise we could have seen with like a Link Queen Knight all in or something, but yeah, just something to bear in mind. I'm curious if this is meaningful, or if it's just a little bit earlier just to get secure bailing speed and a scout as well. Helen's going to be dipping forward, especially because typically, especially against a 2-1-1 variation, you want to be going for a faster Evo chamber, faster upgrade. Instead we're going double Evo chamber with delaying the bailing nest despite going for a much faster lair. Interesting. So it looks like this may just be for an Overseer scout. Okay. Meanwhile, the Queens are going to be keeping up here with the Hellions of his opponent. So far, so good. Fourth base is on the way. We haven't lost any workers yet. We're fully saturated on 3 bases, taking our gases. We haven't taken the gases here at the natural base yet, but they are on the horizon. And now we see why we got a bit of an earlier lair. It is Hydra. It's Ling Hydra. Okay. We have 1-1 on the way. +1 range, not +1 melee. So we're just skipping Bailings entirely. Very Miyamika-esque. A very Miyamika-esque playstyle here. Not quite the same way that Miyamika would do it. He would go for an even faster Hydra timing, to be fair. But yeah, Hydra's nonetheless. So 1-1 Ling Hydra. It means that we're not going to have a lot of splash damage, unfortunately. We're going to be heavily reliant on those Hydras to do DPS. Meanwhile, here comes a double drop. Queen goes down to Overlord as well, and Oriana making his way in towards the bases. Drone's going to be falling as well. Caught in a bit of trouble. Yeah, a lot of Lings are going down. We stim on forward. We start a step forward as well, getting another Queen and another. And this 2-on-1 timing is snowballing out of control. Koht was just too greedy. This wasn't even designed to end the game, but it looks like it may end here and now as the Lings get annihilated. We get on top of even more Queens. The Hydras are popping up, but again, they're trickling in one at a time. Expensive losses here for Koht. Eventually, he will force this back, but the Hellions are rocking up as well, just because there's nothing else to protect the Hydras. They're not here. And this first push here, the 2-1-1 timing of Oriana has snowballed out of control. Everything is going down. The Queens, the Hydras, the Lings. We cut too many corners, too greedy, even though Koht scouted everything, by the way. He saw the entire opener. He should have been ready for this, but he just wasn't. Timing was too crisp. The push has arrived. Behind this, we got a 3rd CC on the way, 2nd factory, gases, soon to be a 4th CC armory as well. Oriana is just working on the next step. Widow Mines they have borrowed so far. Ooh, a bit of friendly fire, but there's one Widow Mine shot left. Ooh. Shot goes off, and Koht does push back the army, but Oriana has done more than enough already. More than enough. And again, Koht, I mean, sure, he's getting into 1-1 upgrades, and sure, like, he's building up an army, but his economy is in shambles. His queen count is completely reset. There's 1 queen. 1 queen here for Koht. I guess 2 queens even here on the right-hand side. And here comes another push. And again, like, it's just too much to handle. Too much to handle at this stage. Another Overlord is going to be falling. We're moving on forward here towards the 3rd base. Ay, ay, ay. We have a couple of Lings to respond. The mine! Mine shot goes off. And again, just not enough Lings are available. Overseer goes down, which means those Widow Mines are going to reset. Find another Queen. We find another Hydra. Oh my god. And Oriana just doing a devastating amount of damage. Getting a couple more Hydras. Oh my god, there's only 2 Hydras left. Only 1 left. Soon to be none left. GG gets called, and with that, Oriana will take game number 1. GG. Oh, Koht trying to cut corners, trying to rush into Hydras in his own way, and I mean, I appreciate the creativity of trying to go into Hydras and trying to make that work, but especially against a 2-1-1, like, you do need Ling Queen to defend. You need a hyperfixate on Ling Queen, join up to 3-base saturation, that's fine, but it did feel like Koht was just being far too greedy. Despite scouting his opponent, again, he knew that that double drop was coming. He should have been aware of it, wasn't ready for it. GG. And with that, as game number 1 in the books, and we're getting ready for game number 2. Oriana with a lead already in this series, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Again, I want to believe that Koht can fight back. I don't think game 1 was really indicative of what, like, the potential of Koht as a player. I don't think we really got too much insight there. It was just kind of a build choice from Koht that was punished. We didn't really get to see the back and forth kind of macro of Koht up against Oriana. I think we were deprived of that, so I hope that we get more of that here in game number 2. I'm hoping for it. As we are getting into the rest of the series. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have Chinese Terran player currently leading the series 1-0, representing Mystery Gaming. It is Oriana. And spawning in the top left, we have as opponent, we have from the land of Hong Kong, the pink Zerg, representing Team Gosu. It is Koht. Go. As we are settling into this, likewise, I was talking about how Koht didn't really get to show us too much of their play in that last game. We didn't really get to delve too much into Koht and Oriana and how they can compare in a straight-up game. Likewise, Oriana didn't really show off anything too fancy either. It was a straight-up like macro opener out of Oriana. The double drop was just designed to apply some pressure more than anything, so we have yet to see his final form, is what I'm saying, and I'm a little bit concerned here for Koht. Oriana should be going for another standard opener. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a 3rd CC based opener once again, something economic. And my eyes are on Koht to see what the hell happens next. Do we go into another fast lair, or do we do something a little bit more standard? I'm hoping for something more standard. I hope so anyway. For the time being, hatch, gas pool, I mean, standard opener. But that's what we saw last game. That's also what we did witness last game as well, so everything is looking as it should for the time being. Everything is on the up and up. SCV Scout's going to be coming in, just like the previous game, going to be confirming the timing of this hatchery. Does see it's already done. And with that, Oriana, he's racing back home with that SCV, now switching out, tagging out with the Reaper. He's where it was a hatch first. And now he can dance with the lings, with the queens, with the drones of Koht. He just wants to dance, Papi. He just wants to dance. Let's see if he can. Here we go. The Reaper is going to be chipping away at those lings. As you mentioned, so far nothing killed yet. The drones got low. The lings are getting low, but so far good control out of Koht. He's able to preserve his army, and there it is. That's a Roach Warren. We are skipping ling speed, going straight into a Roach Warren instead. Behind this, Oriana going for a 3rd TC before Starport. Once again, economic opener out of our Terran. A far more aggressive build this time from Koht. And this is the Koht that I know and love. The more aggressive Koht instead. The more aggressive pink Zerg. He's all about putting the pressure on. He's all about trying to shut down the Terran before they can really get going. Oh. Queen is in position. This is a little bit suspect for such a setup to actually be here in the main base. So Oriana, I'm sure he's aware that something is wrong. He's checking the 3rd base location. God damn. Oriana, he's a bit of a diva enjoyer. He checks the 3rd base location, sees the lack of 3rd. He's going to rotate around. In doing so, he misses the army. But once again, he confirms the lack of 3rd. He dips on forward, and he will see the Roach. He's aware. He's getting ready back at home. There we go. Immediately we evacuate the natural base. We throw down a bunker in the main. So far, good calls. Going for an auto swap. Oh, it's a 3CC 1-1-1. We're going straight for the Banshees. And the Roaches are soon to arrive. Now, how much did we commit here? It's going to be 9 Roaches in total. We have a Ravager on the way, so 10 Roaches. Couple of Lings. And we take control of the natural. Again, Oriana, he can't really do anything about this, but he's minimizing his losses. He does save all of his SCVs. What about up? Oh my god, barely does borrow. Big connection. Takes down the Lings. Big blow to the Roaches as well. Additional Roaches have arrived. And again, Oriana has to kind of give up on this position. Another mine shot. Another good mine shot goes off on the army. Behind this, Koht is droning. He's taking his 3rd base. He's, again, transitioning out of this. The Banshee has arrived. And now with the Banshee, we can focus down everything. These Roaches are so battered, so bruised. We dive into the mineral line. Focus down one of those Hellions. Good bile as well. SCVs are going down, forcing this around. A good trade here for Koht, just getting as much economic damage as possible. Another big bile. 11, 12 SCVs. 12 SCV kills, but now it's Oriana's turn. Now Oriana, he has a second Banshee on the way. Cloak as well is going to be moving out. Koht is aware of the Banshee, so there we go. Spores are on the way. Queens, Spores, Lair. We need to prepare. Koht needs to get ready for the counterattack. He's ahead in the economy. I mean, he's up to 41 drones. That's a lot of drones, Bobby. It's a lot of workers available here for Koht. He's even getting a Spore in between his bases just to be safe. You love to see it. And all he has to do is secure his position. Meanwhile, the pressure is on Oriana. And here we go. Banshees are moving out. We have two Banshees towards the left-hand side. We have the Hellions on the right. And we're going to be threatening a dive. Do we have any Lings? No Lings. Only Queens, which means the Hellions, they can actually ignore the Queens and go straight to the main base. Likewise, the Banshees have arrived. They're going to be, forcing the Queens out of position, dragging them over towards that third base. And now here come the Hellions, and there's no Lings. There's no Lings to support. We've been droning too much. We were too greedy. Not again. Cutting some corners here. 7 drones go down. We go into the main as well. And 7 was just to begin with because so many more are being roasted. Again, it was just far too greedy here from Koht. He had no Lings, no roaches to defend, only Queens. And that is 15 drones going down. Ay, ay, ay. It's an entire mineral line. And just like that, in one fell swoop, Oriana's ahead economy. The worker counts are the same, which means Oriana's ahead because, mate, we got mules. We have mules on top of just the SCVs. Oriana does more than enough. On top of that, he has a third CC, of course. So he's got an additional mule. He has a triple SCV production. Oriana, he is in this. Oh. Banshee does finally go down. Now we do manage to clean that up at least. And Koht is going to try and stabilize here on a 3-base economy. 4th hatchery is on the way. 1-1. So with these 1-1 upgrades, it looks like Koht is going for a Roach Ravager composition, making use of his Roach Warren. And is going to be hitting quite a strong timing here with 1-1. Could even go for a 2-2 timing. We'll see what he does want to go for. But as he's preparing himself, the drops, they continue. We have a double drop moving out here from Oriana. Not too many Marines, as it's not a full double drop. But regardless, this is going to be hitting with Stim, and we could even try to force a cancel. There are roaches in position, so we should be able to save the space. Oh, it's getting low, though. It is getting low. Hatchery will survive. Trade out with some Marines. Likewise, a Link counterattack gets 3 SCVs. Oh, and a medevac goes down as well. That should not have happened. Koht doing well, shutting down the army, shutting down the drop, getting some economic damage across the map, forcing a stim. And Koht, he saves his 4th base. Behind this, Oriana getting into double E base, into 1-1. Second factory's on the way. Armory, additional gases, so he's not going for a 3-base all-in. Oriana, he should be working towards his 4 CC momentarily. Very similar to the follow-up from the last game. Now we have a split push. Now we have a double drop towards the south, a drop towards the north. 1-1 has kicked in. Can't trade that much better. Ooh, and these roaches are going to go down. 3 dead roaches. We go for the mineral at the same time here towards the south. Ooh, not the best trade from Oriana, but he's getting a couple of roaches. Is going to be deflected. It's an overlord. Can he get the queen? Oh, he barely will. Did cost him a couple of Marines, but he did get the queen. And it's triggering a counterattack. It looks like, we're cutting workers at 66. 3-base saturation. This is going to be basically a 3-base all-in from Koht. Cutting workers at 66 drones, going nothing but pure Roach Ravager. And can Oriana defend? The tanks are in position between the bases. And big tank shots are going to be going off, but Koht keeps pushing. He's going straight for the tanks. The vials. Oh, they do quite get 2 tanks. Barely they get 2 tanks, so it's not going to be enough. There are just too many Marines, too much man with gun. 1-1, of course, putting in a lot of work for Oriana as well. And he's going to chase this down. He knows he can. He takes down the Ravager. And Koht is on the back foot. Taking quite a lot of hits already. And Oriana is looking to chase him down. Oh, we do manage to retreat, but the reinforcements. A couple of roaches, they get caught out. And we dive on forward. Looks like there are too many reinforcements. The Queen's coming to support as well, and Koht, he does hold. It's getting into 2-2. Infestation Pit for, I imagine, Infestors, and then Hive Tech afterwards. Droning up, saturating our fourth base. Koht, he's keeping up economically, or at least attempting to keep up. Likewise, Oriana, again, it wasn't an all-in. He's got his 4CC soon to be taken on location. Still has to be morphed into an orbital, as roaches have arrived. And they're getting a couple of SCVs. 2 SCVs go down. Or not quite done. And interesting, with that Hive Tech, we are not going to be committing with pure Roach Ravager. We have the Hydra Den on the way, eventually Lurker Tech as well. The Lunkers, papi. They're on the horizon. Koht going for a split push. Trying to distract his opponent. The tanks, they should be able to hold on. Can we force some friendly fire? Oh, just kill the tanks entirely. One tank goes down. The second tank is barely going to go down as well. Big pickups here from Koht, getting 2 tanks for a handful of roaches. Very nice trades. Very nice trade. So Oriana is going to keep on pushing. He's been building himself up. 2-2 has kicked in for the Terran. Lurker Den is on the way, but without the Lurker Den, what can we really do? Bungle goes off, but doesn't connect. It does graze the army, getting a couple of Marines, getting a Marauder, but that is not it. That is not enough. Tanks are sieging. We only have 3 Ravagers, only 3 Biles. Biles are going to attempt to be connecting here, but alas, there's just too much of a bio army. The Roach Ravager doesn't trade well. GG gets called, and Oriana will take the series at 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. A solid performance here from Oriana. Again, nothing too fancy, just good scouting, good reactions, good execution, really solid play. Meanwhile, from Koht, I did like that we mixed things up and went into the Roach push, and hey, we got a lot of damage done. Remember, we didn't just deny the natural and delay the natural, we also pushed into the main. We got 12 worker kills. Unfortunately, we just didn't have enough to defend against the Hellion counterattack. Well, I should say the Hellion and Banshee counterattack. We saw 15 drones go down, and in that moment, Oriana took a lead. He took a lead economically, and any kind of advantage that Koht once had wasn't really there anymore. And yeah, that was a brutal moment for our Zerg player. And with that, we are going to be following Oriana into his next series.